Yesterday at Anime Expo 2025, CD Projekt Red revealed that Cyberpunk Edgerunners is coming back for a Season 2. And yeah, this is it. A new 10-episode story in the world of Cyberpunk 2077 from Studio Trigger, the exact same creators of Season 1 of Edgerunners. Although, for better or for worse, the director for Season 2 is changing somewhat. It's now Kai Ikarashi, who was the director of Episode 6 of Edgerunners Season 1, Episode 6 being the highest rated non-finale episode. So yeah, I think we're in good hands for Season 2. Studio Trigger coming back means Season 2 will be stunning, but also probably take a little while. We'll go over potential release dates, but I don't think it's anytime soon. And the writer and showrunner from Season 1 is also returning. So this is very much so going to be the same group of amazing talent getting back together for yet another entry. And this is also good news for Cyberpunk 2077 itself. We know patch 2.3 is coming, but maybe a bit more as well. Remember that DLC leak from LinkedIn? It certainly could fit in interestingly with this new anime. When it comes to Edgerunners 2, it almost seems like this will be more of a 2. The official trailer is even just labeled as Edgerunners 2, and CDPR does confirm that this is a new story that looks to be after David's death, which, yeah, spoilers, but right in the trailer, David's death is revealed and somewhat shown. It's one of the situations where, while we don't obviously know much about Season 2 or Edgerunners 2, from what they're saying and the way they're treating this, it very much so seems like Edgerunners 2 is going to be its own thing. It feels pretty unlikely that major characters from Part 1 will pop up for more than just a brief cameo. But this will still be a dark story. The tweet mentions, when your world is blinded by spectacle, what extremes do you have to go to make your story matter? The press release describes the new season as a raw, real chronicle of redemption and revenge. Something unlike what we've done before. And the showrunner only reinforced that further, saying, "I'm from Poland. People in Poland are sad. They're born sad. They die sad. So I just wanted to make the world sad. When people are sad, I'm a bit happy." Yeah, I think he found his calling. But also earlier today, CDPR released the Edgerunners 2 trailer for everyone. It's very short, it's just 53 seconds long, and honestly doesn't show much. Most of the trailer is showing off Edgerunners Season 1 stuff, but we still do get some new things. This child with a camera is looking like the main character of Edgerunners 2. They're center stage in this teaser photo and pop up the most out of everyone in this teaser trailer. We see them around this weird media deletion phase, but also of course at the center towards the end of the trailer. So we're getting media deletion, this kid holding a camera, as well as the overarching film style of the trailer. It seems like this kid's going to be a main character and it's probably going to be around filming something. Perhaps the entire plot line of Edgerunners 2 is around this kid filming things for someone or for himself, and maybe filming something they shouldn't have. It will be interesting to see how a world that gets as dark as Cyberpunk could work with a child at the center. Perhaps when CDPR said something unlike what we've done before, this is what they mean? Or maybe there's just a time skip and they aren't always a kid. I've also seen some speculation that this child could be David's child. That's why David and Lucy appear so prominently in this teaser, because otherwise it doesn't seem like the story has anything to do with them. And well, yeah, I personally think this is going to be a standalone and separate story. As of right now, we just don't know. Speculate away. In this ending shot, we get the bunch of new characters. A few of these same characters popped up all throughout the trailer, but at this point, we don't really know much about who they are or aren't. A few months ago now, we got the Cyberpunk 2077 birthday calendar with 6 encrypted birthdays. I'm guessing these 6 birthdays might be 6 new characters from this anime, and likely some of who we're seeing right here. And this does answer a few questions overall for us. In the past, CDPR mentioned having 3 unannounced upcoming projects, including 1 non-game project. That, as well as this mystery Cyberpunk Netflix anime, seem to actually have been Edgerunners 2, which does give us idea of when this is coming. Netflix originally announced that anime project nearly 10 months ago in October of 2024. So I saw some people being hopeful online that this could be dropping soon if they've been working on it since October of last year. But sadly, we're probably waiting a decent while for the release of this one. This new trailer is only just to announce production. I wouldn't be shocked if work on Edgerunners 2 only began a short while ago. Maybe that Netflix teaser was literally when the agreement to work together again happened, but this trailer is the indication that production is starting to get serious. Edgerunners Season 1 was announced in June of 2020, and even then, CDPR mentioned they had been working with Studio Trigger for a while on the project. Edgerunners eventually came out in September 2022, likely meaning at least 2 years of production time. So when it comes to Edgerunners 2, I think we're looking at something that will drop in late 2026 or maybe even late 2027. The lack of a release date here is the most damning part. Edgerunners Season 1 had its release year revealed right at the same time it was announced for the first time. And while yeah, Studio Trigger definitely makes gorgeous stuff, it takes a while for that art to happen, and no release date, year, or really any indication towards anything definitely makes me think that this has a year-plus wait associated with it. Which does have some pretty interesting implications for Cyberpunk 2077. What a lot of fans may have forgotten is Edgerunners Season 1 was really the turning moment for Cyberpunk. After that show came out, player counts literally never dropped to the same lows they were hitting before. Edgerunners permanently changed Cyberpunk 2077's trajectory. I gotta imagine CDPR recognizes that and in turn holds Edgerunners in incredibly high regard. With Season 1, we got a nice in-game DLC tie-in, and I have to imagine they're going to do something similar or potentially even larger for Season 2 or just Edgerunners 2. It's gonna take me a little while to get used to calling this Edgerunners 2. The first DLC included a bunch of references to the anime, many locations or general nods to characters from the series, but also a couple of more hands-on things like a new weapon, David's jacket, as well as a brain dance. That is to say, Season 1 got a nice yet minor DLC, but with how much of a difference Season 1 ended up having on the overall trajectory of Cyberpunk 2077, I fully expect CDPR to lean even more into Edgerunners Season 2 with an even larger in-game DLC. And do remember, CDPR treats DLC as free content. Expansions are larger and paid. A couple of months ago, someone working at Virtuous Games, the same exact people making these new updates for Cyberpunk 2077, updated their LinkedIn profile to mention working on a Cyberpunk 2077 DLC as a writer. Specifically mention analyzing existing character voices to write dialogue in multiple side quests. This person only started working there in April of 2025. Maybe a tie-in DLC is coming, but maybe it's going to come next year for Cyberpunk. This coupled with other interesting things like the Polish Judy voice actress recently teasing working on something around a new Cyberpunk character, and even The Witcher 3 supposedly getting a new DLC or expansion next year, it's really hard to fully understand the scope of Cyberpunk 2077's future. How many more updates or DLCs is this game getting or not? Like, could we potentially see multiple new updates this year in 2025, maybe even a smaller free DLC later in 2025 around the 5-year anniversary? Mod tools also feel likely to come at some point. But then also even more content in 2026 and potentially even further? I mean, whenever this anime drops, you just have to imagine the game's going to get something to tie into it. And don't forget, CDPR is also working with anonymous content on a live action project. We just haven't heard much about that in a while, but it's also on the way. You have to imagine, as long as they're still working on Cyberpunk at least somewhat, that too will have some kind of tie-in. So yeah, I think Edgerunners 2 is probably a ways away. I think we're getting a really early tease here, but I also think this means Cyberpunk 2077 will be getting some updates and maybe even some of those smaller free DLCs for a bit longer than we were expecting. If Edgerunners 2 even has a remotely similar impact to the player counts of Cyberpunk 2077 as Edgerunners 1, it makes a lot of sense for CDPR to be ready for that, with updates, with additional content, or maybe even new things for you to buy around this game. I mean, hey, they're doing it for The Witcher 3 potentially after 10 years, maybe making a new expansion. Why not do it for Cyberpunk 2077 after 5 years? To be clear, there's no evidence that's coming. At the same time, we also heard definitively that Edgerunners Season 2 wasn't coming. But if you are interested in learning more about all of that, check out this video.